Do you live in a cold climate? Do you drive often when there's a lot of rain? The Tesla might not be your choice. Stick around and I'm going to explain to you why. So recently I took a long road trip in my Model 3. What made this road trip a little unique was this was the first time I ever encountered a heavy rain. What amazed me when I encountered the rain was the battery drain that occurred. Now, ironically, before I ran into this storm, I happened to take this photo because I was impressed at how fast I was driving and what little energy draw I was actually recognizing on the battery. Now, a short time later, we encountered this heavy rainstorm, and it lasted a significant amount of time. Now, I happen to still have my energy consumption screen up, and I noticed this huge spike in energy use. I wasn't sure what was causing the surge, so I first turned off the heater. And I looked over and I didn't see much of a change in the energy consumption. It barely changed. I then turned off the windshield wipers and I was shocked at the sudden dip in the energy consumption, as you can see in this sloping curve. Now, of course, I couldn't test this theory very long due to the rain. I did some research after the fact, and it's funny, there's several theories explaining why the battery drain occurs in the Tesla in the rain. One of those is as the rain falls, that creates a resistance as the vehicle tries to drive through the rain. The other is the water that's on the roadway creates enough resistance that causes a battery drain. Regardless, if it was the rain on the windshield wiper, if it was the rain falling or the windshield wipers, I was shocked at how inefficient my Tesla suddenly became. So when comparing the watts per mile used prior to the rain versus after, I began to realize that I was losing at least 100 miles of range. Now, when you're taking a long road trip, this is going to increase your travel time by at least 30%. Another issue. I've been saying since the first day I bought a Tesla that full self-driving will never happen in my lifetime. Write it down, bold letters. Full self-driving is a waste of money if you think auto driving or it's going to happen. It won't. This recent trip has convinced me more than ever that autopilot, robo-taxi, whatever you want to call it, it's not going to happen. Because as I'm driving, all of a sudden, while I'm in the heavy rain, I get a message that says, take control, take control. It's beeping, hollering at me. The gas lets off or the electricity lets off. I grab the steering wheel. I had to punch the pedal so I didn't get hit from behind. And as you can see in this photo, there was no option for me to have cruise control or autopilot. And not only did that one incident happen, multiple times while I was driving, I was getting these messages that were popping up that the cameras were blocked. You can't see. And here's a photo of what I'm describing. So my question is, what engineering feat must Elon pull off in order to overcome rain blocking the cameras? What about snow? What about the sun? This is just multiple reasons why full self-driving, if you've bought it, you wasted your money. And if you're thinking about buying a Tesla, don't buy full self-driving. So the other weather problem Tesla is facing is wintry conditions. As with rain, any snow or ice is going to make full self-driving impossible because the slush and whatnot is going to get on the cameras. But more importantly, ice is going to be an issue for Tesla owners because of the frameless windows and the doors. So when you open up a Tesla, the window is supposed to go down partially, and then when you shut it, it needs to go up. Well, if you have a lot of ice on the windows, obviously it can't function. There's videos, if you search it, people can't shut or open their doors, or sometimes their handles get frozen. Now, Tesla's aware of the problem. They've given some advice. One of the advice that I'm reading, not from Tesla, but from Tesla owners, is to go ahead and preheat your vehicle for 10 to 20 minutes. So the cabin heat will then melt the exterior ice, making it then able to open and close the door. So if you're plugged in at home, this isn't an issue. You just jump in your car and go. But what about if you're away from the house? Or what about if you have a long commute? So something you have to also think about, not just the ice, but the cold. Several studies have shown that when the temperature falls to 20 degrees or below, the Tesla can lose up to 40% efficiency. You can lose battery drain, 40% of your battery. So again, if you're local and you charge at home, your daily commute doesn't take you that far, no issue. But what if you have a longer commute? 40% loss, that's huge. What if you have to take a long road trip up north or where it's cold? Now you're adding 40% to your drive time. Now, in all fairness to Tesla, this is going to happen to any electric vehicle, not just Tesla. But this is something to consider if you live in a northern climate, or something to consider if you live in a rainy climate now. You're going to face battery inefficiencies. So look, I know this video has seemed to have a negative tone, especially since I'm trashing full self-driving, which again, I wouldn't pay for it. But I'm going to tell you what, I will never own another vehicle but a Tesla unless another electric car company comes out with one that is so much better. I'm just going to tell you, I might be a little hesitant to buy any electric vehicle if I live in really extreme cold climates, if I have longer commutes, or if the battery life is that important. Or maybe on down the road, Tesla's obviously going to increase their range, then it won't be an issue for you. So the rule still stands: buy as much range as you can afford, especially if you live in extreme climates. Now, what about the shirt? So when you order a Tesla, you get a confirmation and the owl is on it. So when I ordered the Tesla Cybertruck, Mr. Owl was on there. So that's what the owl was about. So hey, if you've made it this far in the video, I sure appreciate you watching. Please, please, please subscribe. And when you do subscribe, would you leave a comment at the bottom that says, hey, I subscribed. And I'm going to publicly thank you for that. And who knows, maybe down the road throw you some swag. I appreciate you watching. You have a good day.